Okay, black garlic scallops first. We're going to go for a high-ish heat, and we're going to let the pan heat up, and then we're going to put olive oil in it. So first, a bit of olive oil, throw the potatoes in, a bit of seasoning salt, not too much on the seasoning salt. Cover that mother. Let that get good and hot. The whole idea here is we're going to try to get some crispiness on the skin. Okay, so about 16 minutes in, the potatoes have some color on them. So now we drop the heat to a medium low. And we throw in 3 shallots. And 4 mushrooms. And this looks like a lot of food, and it is. But we're going to cook it down until basically the onions are caramelized. Because we're evil like that. I'm going to add fresh tarragon. Completely optional. If you don't like the taste of tarragon, don't add it. And those of you who don't know what tarragon is, it's kind of like basil, except for basil can't stand the high heat and all the flavor goes away if you cook it. You can put tarragon in much earlier in the dish. It's not as leafy, so it's not good for things like margarita pizzas or any of that sort of thing. But it really does impart a nice flavor. And like I said, low and slow, medium low heat. This will both cook the potatoes and get it so I can caramelize the onions and brown out the mushrooms. First they're going to release a lot of steam. So we cover that. And quite frankly, we're probably looking at 15-20 minutes. Okay, so this has been going about 10 minutes. At this point, I'm going to add just a touch of Italian seasoning. And black pepper.
Okay, so this next part's kind of long. I didn't think anybody wanted to hear my range hood going on forever. Anyway, the potatoes and mushrooms are cooked, so we're going to take them out of the pan. As you can see, we're left with some fond on the bottom. Don't get rid of that, that's flavor. To this, we're going to add some olive oil and some butter. Once the olive oil is heated up, we're going to add black garlic and stir it around. I'm going to add just a touch more butter because, let's face it, you can never have too much butter. The black garlic's already sort of like a paste, but as it heats up, it'll soften up a bit. Just stir it around and mixed it into the oil butter mixture. Scallop. So at this point, we're obviously putting in our scallops. Put them into the hot garlic mix. Then we're going to season them up with a little bit of seasoning salt, a little bit of celery salt, and some black pepper. And we're going to wait to get some color on the bottom side of these. At this point, we add our scallops, and really we just cook them as normal. Cook them so they're medium-ish brown on both sides, and that's about it. As you can see, we're getting some nice color on the bottom of these scallops, so let's turn them all over. Now the bottom side, which I hadn't seasoned before, I'm just going to put a bit of smoked paprika on to give it a bit of a smoky flavor. Okay, so our scallops are done. They got a nice color on them. They got a nice little bounce to them. So now we're going to simply plate them by putting them on top of the mushrooms and onions. And then we're going to move on to making our sauce. So to call this a sauce is almost too grandiose. All we're really going to do is we're going to deglaze the pan with mushroom stock. We're going to stir it around until it's all incorporated, and then we're going to leave it on a medium low heat until it thickens up a bit, and then we're going to pour it on the scallops. At this point, we're going to add some fresh squeezed lemon juice to just give it a bit of acidity. Stir the mixture around a bit, and then let's let it sit on the heat until it thickens up. And now we're going to garnish with a bit of watermelon. And now we just put it on the plate. This turned out very well.
The sauce made almost like a gravy for the potatoes. The lemon in the sauce added a nice bite to the scallops. I highly recommend this dish, and it only takes one pan.